So what was the fastest accelerating car to ever come out of Dech?
In my opinion, this one. Yeah.
That's what I was hoping to hear. Somebody sent me that online, so I figured I'd ask.
Oh, that's crazy. When it was done, it was crazy.
All right, guys. Today I want to talk to you about Foxbody mistakes. And a couple of mistakes I made with my Foxbodies in the past is when I was a young guy, I had an 87 GT T-top, much like this one. And I was a typical young guy. I was beating the heck out of it. But I went out specifically to find a Mustang GT T-top because I thought that was the coolest thing around. And, you know, I guess really it still is. But I bought the car and I started drag racing it, having a lot of fun with it. And, you know, I bought the car specifically because it was a T-top. And in the length of time I owned it, I made a huge mistake. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I pulled the T-tops out of it and drove it around. So I said to myself, if I ever get another Mustang T-top, that's not going to happen again. So I've only had this car operational for really only a few days now. But anytime I'm out driving around, the tops are out. Even with threat of rain and even with it sprinkling, I leave them out. So that's one thing we're going to correct. At one point when I got a bit older, another thing is I went out and got myself a really good car. So I decided out of all the beat Foxbodies I had, I wanted an original VinTag, original paint Foxbody coupe. And I went to the States and I found such a car. And I'll tell you, it was the nicest car nobody ever saw. And what I mean by that is I had this original paint mint Mustang coupe, black on black, 93. It had a great history to it. Ford engineer owned it. It was on Ford's employee website. And much like the T-top ordeal, where I never took the T-tops out of it, I hardly drove that car. In 10 years, that car went, I think, 1,200 miles. You know why? Because it was original VinTag, original paint. I was worried something would happen to it. And there were a couple occasions where I took it out on nice days where some stupid things almost did happen to it that were out of my control. The best thing I ever did was sell that car off. Because if you guys have seen in my other videos, I drive everything. So that may not be the case for you. You know, to each their own. That's what makes the world go round. Everybody's different. For me, I'll take a solid car that's been painted once or twice, and I'm going to put the miles to it because I'm not saving it for the next guy. Much like Nate, who built this car, he didn't save it for me. This thing had 295,000 K on it when I found it. Didn't even run, blew up. He enjoyed it. And I'll tell you, it took some blood, sweat, tears, had to fight through the rust, but this car became something. It's working really good, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So even though I haven't got all the bugs out of it and I haven't got everything finished on it, I probably shouldn't even be driving it around because there's some wires that need to be soldered, which I keep saying I'm going to get to, but I haven't. And in typical Altered Stangs fashion, we're out here driving around with no tools, no parts, and we're just going. But that's kind of how I do things. So I'm not worrying about stuff like that anymore. And I'm sure there's a lot of you that might be able to relate. The car's sitting in the garage, you haven't done anything with it in a while, and maybe it's time. If you could relate to not driving your car because of anxiety, stress, stone chips, what have you, let me know in the comments. Let me know that I'm not alone. But we're getting past that. I'm not going to worry about the stone chips. We're going to put the miles right to them. And in the case of this car, if you see the T-tops in it, it must be parked or it must really be raining. So yeah, we're high atop the city here. This was a spot I used to hang out when I was younger. People used to come up here and just kind of hang out. And as you can see from these black marks, looks like the kids around here still do. None of this was me. I'd tell you if it was. So on a side note, had an extra special day yesterday. I got the opportunity of a lifetime to meet up with the people that made Dech Motorsports. And I got to hear the stories. I got to hear about the cars. I got to hear about the modifications. I got to hear about the man that came up with Dech in particular. I got to hear about Nate's car. And some cool things about Nate's car, you know, one of the guys that worked at Dech said it was definitely a numbered car. So the most common question I get asked about this car, and maybe you can help answer it, is, was this car a numbered car?
Yeah,
It was. Okay.
definitely a numbered car.
Okay. Everybody, every time somebody sees it or whatever, or talks to me online, it's numbered. What a shame it's missing.
We know it's not. So most of them have numbers, right? Most of the original ones have numbers, and then you never had a system, right? Because it was about the car. It wasn't about being numbered and all this other stuff, right? That stuff doesn't matter.
Yep. I asked Peter Hansen, the owner, and he said that if it wasn't, it should have been. So to me, that's pretty cool. When talking to the guys, we believe it was the only T-top Dech ever produced. I wasn't sure if there was a 4i in there, but once again, we're not 100% on that. But we know that Derek didn't like T-tops, so it's possible this is the only one. Once again, not certain. One other really cool thing that happened yesterday is I got Peter Hansen to sign the dash. Wow, that looks awesome.
I don't know, it looks pretty good for someone who said it won't look good.
You can sign.
That looks really good.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Peter.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. And I can't tell you how much that means to me. I woke up super excited because that signature was on the dash. I love the look of it, even just cruising around. It got me in a good mood this morning. And I took this car out to find some twisties. And I was able to do that. And I actually had to go home in order to find the twisties. And by home, I had to travel to the family farm, which is long since sold off now. That's where the twisties were. I went down to our old swimming hole. And I'll tell you, this car is an eye-opener. This car in the right hands, wow, it's gonna move. First impressions where it can go through the corners like anything. It's super responsive. The brake system is absolutely amazing for what they developed in 1993. And if you're doing a circle, I've never had a Mustang that could go around in a circle this tight without any grinding on the control arms or without the tires scrubbing or anything like that. So that's just a testament to what Dech did. I'm beyond amazed at the car. I only wish I'd have found one sooner, but the fact that we didn't find one sooner meant we got the right one, the T-top, because that's who I am. I'm a diehard T-top nut. So if you guys ever get the chance to experience a Dech car, I highly recommend it. If you ever get the chance to buy a Dech car, I definitely recommend it. So yeah, once again, let me know if perfect paint is causing you stress, if original paint is causing you anxiety, if you've got a car in the garage you just haven't enjoyed in a while, if you've got a T-top car you don't take the tops out of, let me know. I'm curious because I've been through that, and we're done. We're done with that. So yeah. And it's funny how you go through things in life. I started with hatchbacks because that's what was the cheapest around and the most plentiful. I went to coupes. You guys know I have a few coupes, one which I travel with all over the place. Now that I have a T-top again, this car is quickly becoming my favorite, I think. It could be just because it's new and I haven't had one in a long time, but it is quite the feeling to be cruising around with the tops out. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Bye for now.